Hey guys, my name is Travis Cook and I'm doing my video presentation on how to change the oil in a skid steer loader. The first step you're going to want to do is let the skid steer run until the operating temperature is up to what it's supposed to be, normally around 180 degrees. The reason you're going to want to do this is it allows the oil to get a lot thinner, so it'll drain faster, and it'll also drain most or most of all of the oil out of it. Step 2 is you're going to want to get a drain pan that is big enough to hold all of the oil, because if you don't, it's going to be spilled all over the floor and you're going to have one giant mess to clean up, which is never any fun. Step 3 is before you pull the drain plug out of it, you're going to want to pull the dipstick or take the oil fill cap off. What this does is it allows the oil to drain a lot faster because it has ventilation through the whole motor. Just like if you were to pour water out of a bottle, it doesn't come out very fast unless you, and if you took a knife and stabbed a hole in the bottom of it, it comes out a lot faster. Step 4 is you're going to want to remove the oil drain plug now to allow the oil to drain out of the motor, and you're going to want to let this drain until you don't see any more oil dripping out for best results. Step 5 is you're going to want to get an SOS sample bottle. What this does is while the oil is draining, you take a sample of the oil, you fill out this sheet which asks for what make and model you were changing the oil on, what kind of engine, and what this does is you send it off to, I do believe it's Seattle, and they analyze it and they tell you if you have anything in your oil that's not supposed to be there, like either hydraulic oil, diesel, even parts of gaskets. They can tell you, and what this does is it lets you know that if your sample comes back clean, that your motor's running fine, and if it comes back bad, you know you need to make repairs. Step 6 is you're going to want to spin the old oil filter off. Sometimes they can be a pain in the butt. Somebody put them on way too tight. You'll need a filter wrench of the right size, and once you spin it off, you're going to spin it off a little ways, and then you'll see the oil will start to bleed out of the filter. Let it drain for a minute so that way it doesn't get all over your face if you're laying under the piece of equipment. Once it's done draining, you spin the filter the rest of the way off. Then you're going to want to take a rag and wipe off the excess old oil from the motor itself and from the filter head. Step 7, you're going to want to spin the new filter on. Make sure that the O-ring off the old filter came off, because if you put both of them on, it's not going to seal right and you're going to have oil spraying out of your oil filter. So in order to check that, just check the top of the old filter and make sure the rubber O-ring's on there, and if it is, then you're good to go. Just take some new oil and lube up the new O-ring and fill the oil filter with oil so that way you don't starve your engine when you go to start it up. Step 8, you're going to want to put the drain plug back in the motor. That's a pretty important one not to skip, because if you do, your motor won't be running for very much longer, and you want to definitely make sure not to over tighten them, because you will mess up the threads and then it really won't seal, and then the next time you go to change your oil, you're not either going to be able to get your drain plug out, or once you do get it out, it won't be able to screw back in because the threads are too messed up. Step 9, fill the engine with oil. For instance, most diesel engines take a 15W40 motor oil, which is pretty common. You're going to want to fill that up with the right amount, and what you're going to do is most heavy equipment comes with maintenance manuals. You can look up there and see what the refill capacity is. It'll tell you what kind of oil it takes, whether it be 10W30 or 15W40. You're just going to fill that right through the top the oil fill, and just check your dipstick as you're filling to make sure you're not overfilling it, and then once you hit your desired level, go ahead and put the filler cap back on, and then once you do that, you're gonna go to step 10, which is you're gonna start the skid steer, let it run for a while, and just go drive it around for a few minutes and come back to the shop, park it, turn it off, get out, check the oil, and if it's low, add some. If it's over
Created using Powtoon.